को सीधे बुलेटिन में लिए चलते हैं दिल्ली के निर्माण भवन, जहां शहरी विकास और गरीबी अपशगन मंत्री वेंकैया नायडू प्रेस वार्ता को संबोधित कर रहे हैं।
RRTS in National Capital Region. RRTS is a rail-based suburban public transport system. RRTS is being a rapid transport will significantly reduce the travel time between important NCR towns. Once operational, it will be the fastest and most comfortable and safest mode of transport in the National Capital Region. It consists of three prioritized corridors: Delhi Meerut, Delhi Gurgaon Alwar, and Delhi Panipat. The total length of all the three corridors is going to be about 380 kilometers. The detailed project report of Delhi Meerut corridor has been approved by the NCRTC board, and for the two other corridors it is being finalized. Once it is finalized, that also will be informed to you. This total length of this Delhi Ghaziabad Meerut RRTS is 92.05 kilometers, out of which 60.354 kilometers is elevated viaduct and 30.245 kilometers is underground, and 1.451 kilometers will be at grade for connections between the depots. Delhi Meerut area RRTS will be underground, including crossing of Yamuna River. It will be an engineering marvel. In the balance section, it shall be an elevated viaduct running on the median of Delhi Meerut highway. That also is speciality. The proposed RRTS is expected to carry about 7.91 lakhs passengers for the year in the year 2024, which is expected to increase to 9.20 lakhs in 2031 and 11.4 lakhs in 2041. Till such time, many of us may not be there, but that is the future. So friends, this is a very important corporation. The estimated capital cost of the RRTS corridor at current price level works out to be 21,902 crores. The revenue operations generation will come from 2023. So मैंने अभी आपके सामने गति से प्रगति ऐसा इनका जो लोगो है, वो लोगो का आपका समझ में इसका आविष्करण किया है. फ्रेंड्स, आप लोगों ने कल बजट का पॉजिटिव फीचर्स क्या है आपने देखा है, और देश में सभी सामाजिक वर्ग ने इसको स्वागत किया है. बजट लोकप्रिय है और जो वर्तमान में जो स्थिति है, जो विरासत में हमको मिला वित्तीय स्थिति, उसको सुधार के वित्त मंत्री ने देश के सामने एक प्रगतिशील और लोकप्रिय बजट प्रस्तुत किया है. द बजट वाज नॉट पॉपुलिस्टिक बट इट वाज पीपलिस्टिक. It was not populistic, but it was peopleistic. People-oriented, not election-oriented or vote-oriented. This was kept in mind the welfare and future of the people, and the budget was so designed well. There is something for each and every section. Today, the idea of inviting you all is of people who are covering my department, urban development, housing and poverty alleviation. The purpose is to explain you about our department. The chief objective of the general budget was ensuring social justice with equality and with a new model of economic development. Inclusive development was amply reflected in the budget, significantly giving a push to affordable housing in the budget for the next financial year. That is the purpose of my highlighting this aspect today. The incentives announced yesterday, further to what was done in earlier budgets, were aimed at substantially improving the ecosystem to enable the poor, the middle class, and lower middle class in urban areas of the country to fulfill their basic aspiration of owning a house. To fulfill their basic aspiration of owning a house. Housing for All mission launched by Honorable Prime Minister to be realized within the specific time of 2022 is one of the cornerstones of this government's inclusive development, aimed at ensuring a decent living for all citizens of our country. Friends, I am really thankful to my colleague, the Finance Minister, Shri Jetli. He has acted upon our suggestion. We made a presentation before the Finance Minister. I wrote him 3 letters. I have also, in between, along with my officers, apprised the Honorable Prime Minister the need to give further encouragement to the housing and particularly affordable housing. I am happy it was accepted, and on this occasion I would like to assert the budget for 17-18 has significantly enhanced the likelihood of realizing the goal of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana by 2022. Granting the long demand infrastructure status for affordable housing in the budget is a major supply side intervention. We have been asking for it for years, and organizations like real estate people who are working in the real estate sector, they have been asking us for the same. Housing stock supply will substantially increase further to this announcement, since infrastructure status to affordable housing enables increased availability of low interest rate and long-term funding for developers. This reduced cost of loans will be passed on by the developers to the buyers, which makes house owning more affordable. मकान सस्ते होंगे, कारण क्या है, उनको सस्ते में ऋण मिलेगा, उनके लिए जो पैसा चाहिए वो पैसा पर्याप्त नहीं मिलते थे. अभी जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर दर्जा दिया है उस कारण से पर्याप्त पैसा मिलेगा और वो पैसा वो खर्च करेगा, कंपटीशन भी बढ़ेगा और मकान का दर कम होगा. मित्रों, infrastructure status also entitles developers for tax and other fiscal concessions, making the sector more attractive. Once you get it, they will also be able to get tax and other fiscal concessions. This status benefits the housing sector, since the financial institutions lending to developers will now look at housing sector favorably, as this result in lower risk weightage for loans to affordable housing. This is important. Large public sector investments such as employment provident fund organizations as well as insurance firms that are mandated to invest a specific portion of their funds in infrastructure will now invest in housing sector also. You know this. These institutions EPFO and insurance firms are mandated to invest certain amount of their money in the infrastructure projects. So now they can happily invest in the housing sector. भाई बाहर कौन बोल रहा है उनको बताओ, बोलना नहीं बताइए उनको, कौन है वहाँ, उनको बताओ ये कि यहाँ कोई असेंबली पार्लियामेंट ऐसे नहीं चल रहे, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस चल रहा है. Refinancing of 20,000 crore of individual housing loans by National Housing Bank during the next financial year will give a further boost to the housing sector. Proposed abolition of Foreign Investment Promotion Board is expected to enhance the ease of investing in housing sector. There is no need to go to FIPB to seek permission. Madam, इधर आइए आप, हाँ जगह है, हाँ प्लीज कम, देयर इज अ चेयर हियर. भाई हमारा कोई कर्मचारी बैठे तो खड़े होकर मीडिया वालों को दीजिए. प्लीज प्लीज कम, सिट डाउन. सो FIPB अबालिश होने के कारण से इन्वेस्टमेंट और भी आसान होगा. दैट विल रिजल्ट इन इंक्रीज्ड फ्लो ऑफ FDI इनटू हाउसिंग सेक्टर. 100% deduction of profits for housing projects announced in the budget for houses with an area of 30 square meters in 4 metros and 60 square meters in other cities. Towns have now been made applicable to houses with a carpet area of 30 square meters and 60 square meters. Earlier, it was the built-up area. Now it is carpet area. This increase of size of houses, it will increase by 30% besides resulting in increased investments. Size भी बढ़ेगा, investment भी बढ़ेगा. Keeping in view the time taken for completion of housing projects, it has been increased to 5 years now. This is also a major concession given to the housing sector. Then tax on unoccupied houses under notional rental income has been removed for a period of 1 year from the date of issue of completion certificate. Issue of completion nahi, issue of completion certificate. Providing huge relief to developers reeling under stress due to unsold inventory. बहुत लोगों के पास मकान है मगर बेच नहीं पा रहे और ये पीरियड ये रिमूव करने के कारण से उनको और भी सुविधा मिलेगा. Reducing holding period benefits under long-term capital gains for housing and land from 3 to 2 years will benefit buyers by reducing the period of holding for availing tax benefit. This is also conveys a very favorable message. Initially, people did not understand that. Reduced from 3 years to 2 years. Reducing holding period of benefits under capital term, capital gains for housing and land from 3 to 2 years will benefit buyers by reducing the period of holding for availing tax benefits. This is also a major relief, concession. The base year for determination of cost inflation index has been advanced from 1981. Earlier it was 1981 base year. Now it has been increased to 2001 to help reduce tax burden, as sellers will be able to get a set off of a higher value of their homes based on fair market value and reduce hardships in calculation of capital gains. This is also a very major relief and concession. Capital gains tax will now be imposed only after the completion of the project. If a joint development agreement is signed, this will reduce tax burden on developers and overcome the burden of double taxation, helping in reduction of prices across all segments. This will also encourage landowners to enter into development agreements. पहले agreement करने में संकोच करते थे. इस benefit के कारण से वो लोग भी agreement enter करेंगे. External commercial borrowing, ECBs, have now been made more attractive by increasing the time period withholding of 5% of interest to 30th June 2020 from 2017 earlier. अभी केवल समय 17 तक था, जून 17 तक, माने जून 17 केवल 4 महीने है, मगर इसको अभी 2020 तक एक्सटेंड किया है. एक्सटर्नल कमर्शियल बोरोइंग, द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ विथहोल्डिंग ऑफ 5% इंटरेस्ट 30th June 2020 तक उसको बढ़ाया है. दैट्स ऑल्सो ए मेजर कंसेशन. Minimum alternate tax carry forward has been increased by 5 years from the present 10 years. In the budget for 2017-18, allocation of PMAY urban has been increased by 1,500 crores, marking an increase of 18.30%. 18.30%. This is a major increase as far as the housing is concerned. Friends, this goes to prove that the budget 2017-18 has furthered the cause of the affordable housing, benefiting both developers and buyers, besides catalyzing flow of investments into the housing sector. मुझे याद आ रहा है, स्मरण आ रहा है, श्रीमान अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के ज़माने में इंटरेस्ट रेट कम होने के कारण से there was a boom in the housing sector, and banks were also very enthusiastic in investing and giving housing loans. Once again, the situation will come back to that and it will further improve, because the PMAY, the government is already providing central assistance in the range of 1 to 2.20 lakh for each beneficiary. जो economically weaker section है, जो low income group है, उनके लिए हम लोग स्लम में 1 लाख रुपए से 2,20,000 रुपए तक हर एक बेनिफिशियरी को केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा हम पैसा दे रहे थे. Economically weaker section with an income of 3 lakh rupees per year and LIG with an income of 6 lakhs get a huge interest subsidy on a loan of rupees 6 lakhs. Tenure of this loan has been now increased from 15 years to 20 years. आसान से रीपे कर सकते. प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑन 31 दिसंबर 31 दिसंबर को जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो घोषणा किया है, उस समय उन्होंने एक न्यू विंडो फॉर द मिडिल क्लास टू fulfill their dream of owning house. Under this credit linked subsidy scheme, MIG, interest subsidy of 4% will be available on a housing loan of 9 lakhs for those with an income level of rupees 12 lakhs, and interest subsidy of 3% on a loan of 12 lakhs for those with an income of rupees 18 lakhs. Tenure of loan will be 20 years. 20 years, 3% interest subvention up to 12 lakhs, income of 18 lakhs. But 4% interest subvention for those people whose income is 9 lakhs, whose loan is 9 lakhs with an income level of 12 lakhs. So this is a major push given by the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister for the housing sector. I am very happy about it. I have been arguing with the Finance Minister from the day one that unless you give tax concessions, lower interest rate, the desired objective of achieving housing for all will be difficult to meet. Now, with the announcement made by the Honorable Prime Minister on December 31st, with the concessions announced by the Finance Minister this year and last year, and particularly FDI is totally allowed, restrictions on FDI has been removed, and that investment amount also, particular size of the amount, that also has been now taken away. Now the banks will also come forward to provide the needed support for the housing sector. The National Housing Bank will be able to refinance the housing loans up to 20,000 crores. So friends, this is a very happy news for all of us. That's why I have invited you all people to this today's special briefing on the budget vis-a-vis the housing sector. Information is available with you. So far, my department in the last 2 years have sanctioned around 15 lakh 61,000 dwelling units in 2,874 projects with an investment of 84,150 crores, involving a central assistance of 24,670 crores in the last 19 months. 4,32,063 houses have been grounded for construction and 8,50,000 houses tenders have been called for. So that's a good improvement. I hope in the coming days, only 70,854 has been completed. The beginning has been made. Now it will receive further push. Because now that you have come here, I would also share that as far as the urban development is concerned, the last year, 16-17, allocation to urban development was 24,523 crores. Now it has been enhanced to 34,211 crores. So that there is an increase of 39.51% as far as the urban development is concerned. But urban development in detail, we can discuss later, because there is a huge push again given to metro rail projects also, that I would request all of you to focus more on housing sector, because housing is the dire need of the people. It also concerns you, all of you also, because all of you are in that bracket of middle class. Corporate size has been increased, okay, and then interest subvention has been offered, and then now time of completion also has been increased. Joint ventures, they have been recognized, and then capital gains, that relief also has been given. So it's almost like a win-win situation for the housing sector. I hope all the stakeholders, they will adding to this. In order to have healthy growth, we have the Real Estate Development Regulation Authority, and I am pursuing with all the state governments that by October 2017, each one of them has to constitute a regulatory body also in the state. The progress is on. Recently we had a meeting of the state ministers of the 17 January, housing ministers and secretaries. Workshop was there. They have all been sensitized and told that they have to follow, it's a central law. They are mandated to have regulatory authorities in their respective states. मेरे ओर से इतना है. आप लोगों को इस विषय में कुछ सवाल पूछना है, प्लीज.
There's some confusion that in this 12 and 18 lakh that you talked about subvention, that actually brings us.
तो ये